Welcome to Fandom
and Wellness,
a podcast about the complex relationship between fandom and mental health.
Disclaimer, we are not psychiatrists or psychologists. We are just fangirls with a vested interest in mental health.
This episode, we will be talking about Captain Marvel!
Yay!
Yay!
Hell fucking yes. Okay.
About time.
Yes.
About time.
AKA the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that is a female lead.
Yes.
No. It's been 10 years now, right? No, 11
and
now.
Like 21 movies.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what do you think about
Cool.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk about the casting of Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. I'm personally a big fan of her, especially since I saw Room. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh my god, I
Man,
cried. I cried the entire fucking time. It's a good fucking movie. But yeah, she was great in that, and she was great in this too.
Yeah, I heard, a lot of people critiquing that she was like, there was like a disconnect, or she was emotionless.
I didn't feel that way at all.
Whatever. And I didn't feel that way at all either. I thought she was marvelous.
Yeah.
Not to excuse her. There's doing a lot of that during this episode.
I know, right?
I like the casting of her. I thought she was great for this role. I think she was funny. I think she was spot on with her emotions. It was great. I enjoyed her. I don't understand why all these people are like, I don't like Brie Larson. I'm like, shut up.
And like her character was funny and interesting.
Yes.
I hate when women are like the straight man, quote unquote, because they often play that role.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to be like, I don't know, they always have to be
they have to be stoic. They have to essentially be like Batman.
Right.
Like that's what they expect from women characters. It's like women characters can be whatever they want. They don't have to emulate another male character.
Yeah, and this movie does an amazing job proving that.
I feel like, for example, I feel like Hope's character, the Wasp,
can
be kind of like that sometimes. Like, I don't think she was written very well.
Did a woman help write the movie?
I have no idea. Doubt it.
Okay.
But yeah, so but she was very quippy, really fun. So I'm excited to see her interact with the rest of the Avengers as well.
Yes. But also that's how normal people, not normal, but that's how regular people act. We're all very
not normal, regular.
We all have our little quirks about us.
She was a human.
Yes, she was human. For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want to keep talking about Brie, or are we going to just blow through the cast?
We'll probably come back to her sometime.
I'm sure we'll come back to her. She is our leading lady. So obviously the next lead in the movie is Sam Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Which
as
Fury, sorry. Which I still forever love the fact that, like he was drawn into the Ultimates universe and then cast into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After you guys know that, right? Or no?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was he was like basically like the Ultimates universe just like drew different actors and actresses that they wanted depicted as those characters.
Oh.
That's my memory of it. And Sam Jackson is who they drew as Nick Fury.
Right. Basically, they drew him as Sam Jackson, and then Sam Jackson was cast.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be a white dude. Nick Fury used to be a white dude.
Nick Fury was, yeah.
And now everyone knows him as Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I could picture him as anyone else.
No.
I think David Hasselhoff wanted to be him.
No.
Whatever. I don't actually have anything against Hasselhoff, but whatever. If he's challenging Samuel Jackson, then I do. Yeah, so I mean, something I loved about this was that it felt like he was just playing himself.
A little bit.
Like a younger version of himself.
He was a lot more playful than his older Nick Fury.
He hasn't reached, because it takes place in the 90s, and like the more recent Marvel movies are like current with the time, so he hasn't seen as much as he's not dealt with all the things that he's had to like the last 20, 30 years. He hasn't experienced that yet, so he's still green.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm wondering if any of those questions that she asked him were answers from Nick Fury's life or from his life.
Hmm.
Like about his past, like his first and things like that. But yeah, so it was also really cool to see the de-aging CGI of him and Coulson.
It wasn't perfect to me. It was still a little freaky to me, personally.
Why?
It's freaky because I think maybe because you're so used to how they look now.
I think it's because I'm used to how they look now that I'm like, oh, they look so young.
I thought it was cool.
It is very impressive. Yeah.
I thought it looked really good compared to makeup.
Yes,
Which,
definitely.
Of course, yeah.
Makeup can get weird sometimes, especially. I'll say this: not everyone knows how to do black makeup or hair, and I don't trust anyone.
A lot of makeup companies just like have ignored black skin tones for an extremely long time.
Yeah, so no one really knows. I still watch shows and I'm like, they let her go outside like that. They don't love you. They don't love you.
Yeah, but I really loved getting to see them interact and build like their relationship and like their trusting bonds, like by like letting by like Coulson letting Fury and Carol go.
Yeah, that was a really good judgment call.
Like,
you go.
Yeah, like build. Yeah, like it like establish their friendship for the next like however many decades.
I know. Yeah,
which is really cool.
I like Phil. I miss Phil. I feel like I need to get caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, I like Clark Gregg a lot. I think he's a great actor and a great person too.
Yeah, perfect cast. Perfect casting.
What about Jude Law? This was my first. Well, I never really got into Jude Law. I didn't understand it so much until he was like Watson and Sherlock Holmes. And now here he is Yon-Rogg at Dumbledore. I did a pretty good job in this role.
I enjoyed Jude Law. The role was weird. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't much. I don't think it was much of a role.
He was meant to be punched in the face.
Yes.
You mean the character, right?
Yeah.
Not
okay.
I don't know Jude Law as a human. I know him as a Kree.
Yeah.
And as a Kree, he was meant to be punched in the face.
I really enjoyed the reveal of, even though we kind of could see it coming, I enjoyed the reveal of him being the one who had actually shot.
That I did not foresee, and that was like a really good twist. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, there were some complaints that like, so basically like, I don't know if you guys remember on our episode with Darius, he was talking about how sometimes toys spoil movies because their releases come out like months in advance of the movie, and his character apparently on I think like a pop toy or something like that was Yon-Rogg, and Yon-Rogg like in the comic book series like is like a villain.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then we also have Ben Mendelsohn as Talos.
Yeah. I'm so used to him being evil that it's very interesting to see him in this kind of silly role. Like at times he's pretty silly.
At times he's pretty laid back and just like you want to be friends with him. Which it was a good casting choice for someone who is supposed to be seen as the villain for 75% of the movie.
Right. Exactly.
Because it's believable.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you're like, oh wait, we get to see him in this like role that we should be empathizing with and like joking with instead. So that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the casting of him. But what about Marvel? I know a lot of
Annette Bening.
Yes, Annette Bening. Bening. Said Bening. Yeah, I know a lot of people were upset that Marvel was a woman. And I'm like,
yeah, because originally in the comics it's a man, and Carol has like a romantic interest in him.
Right. Okay.
Or like a vague romantic interest. But it's great in my opinion, that they made her a woman, because then A, it's more conversations between two women that don't have to do with a man.
Right.
And B, then Carol doesn't have a forced romantic relationship.
Yes.
Right.
And then she's not like just like the subplot of a man.
Which I feel like that could have happened so easily.
I think this dynamic as her role model, basically, because she does see herself as Marvel, and probably will name herself or get named Captain Marvel because of that. I think that's a really good dynamic.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that Marvel is more of a role model as opposed to a male person in her life. Because it gives her somebody to look up to as a person that's growing into this character, into the superhero role. And honestly, like, I feel like we don't need any more of our heroines to have love interests. Like, they can exist and be amazing and badass all at the same time without having to need a partner with them.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with I'm okay with love interests, but
it doesn't need to be the main story, and
right.
it doesn't need to be their reason for being, and it doesn't need to be like
doesn't even need
like
to be
like if they have a love interest, it should be like, okay, yes, I have a supporting partner, like, because this is like what love actually.
I mean, she does have a love interest in it though. Maria Rambeau.
Right. They didn't even get into that. I feel like gosh, am I gonna get in trouble for this?
Go ahead.
What?
I feel like they J.K. Rowling that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, oh, here you go a little bit, but not really. Like, if you're
I assumed they were in a relationship, but then Maria was like, "Oh, you came like running up, knocking on my door in the morning to like wake me up," and I was like, "Yeah, right. She was in your bed."
Oh my gosh. But no, I felt like I really wish that this was actually a queer love interest, because it would have raised the stakes in the movie. It would have been something more for her to fight for, and something more for her to come back to realize she left this person. And not to say that having a best friend is, and someone that you're close to in that friendship platonic way, is not as nearly as important, but it's something we don't ever see in a lot of movies, let alone a Marvel Cinematic movies, which in queerness. So I feel like that was a miss.
So that's why I'm like, love interests can be interesting, you know,
right.
They can be
when they work
complex
off each other.
Yeah,
when they're complex, when it's not just
what we've seen before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, I feel like that would have made it not complex at all, because like Maria was just ultra supporting of her. There's no complex. There's no like complex.
We don't mean complex in the more dimension is what.
Yes. Yeah. Because like to me, like complex would mean it is like
difficult.
It's like Raylo.
No, that's
like Ray and Kylo Ren. Like that's complex to me. Like
this is dimension.
Like to me, like this was just like love.
Yes.
But yeah, Lashana Lynch did such an amazing job in this role. Which I've never seen her in anything before this.
Neither have I. But I enjoyed her character, and
now I want to see her in everything. So
yeah,
I loved her. And then her daughter,
so cute, the cutest,
stole the movie.
Yeah, she's a standout.
Yeah, Akira Akbar, who's Monica Rambeau. Which I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but like she's actually a well-known superhero in the Marvel universe.
I'm familiar with that. Yes,
I found out after the fact.
Yeah. Whatever. Then you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Who cares when you found out?
Okay.
We are not about gatekeeping.
It feels like they're setting something up for her.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why introduce her at all? Because a lot of people already know who she is, or anyone that's become interested in the movie after the fact, we're gonna look it up, and there's gonna be articles about Monica Rambeau. So like by this year, she's 27 now, so she's old enough to then become the next Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, it's like she's technically was Captain Marvel before Carol was.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
And Kelly Sue DeConnick actually like touched on that when she took over the series by having Carol like ask permission to use the name, which is good because normally like white women steal from black women, so it's
Yeah.
It was like important. Never actually like asked permission. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if they include her in Avengers or just any upcoming Marvel Cinematic movies.
Right.
I do too. Also, Kelly Sue's her little cameo in the movie. I had a little freak out moment. Jenny stopped me. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's her."
Well, I was like, I didn't know she had a cameo,
and Did not so, like, either.
Yeah, so like when I saw her, I was like, "Wait, what? Wait, is that like?"
Yeah.
And like I went to see the movie with Becky of Pink Samurai and Nikki of Geek Fire Labs, who are two like geek girl bosses based out of Austin. Mm-hmm. And so I like pulled up Kelly Sue's photo and I was like, "Am I crazy? Was this her? Was this her?" So yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah, I love
it. I'd also been looking forward to hanging out with them since moving here, and so I had a really good time like going with like a new Geek Girl crew that I hadn't gotten to hang out with yet. And I hope everyone got to go with a Geek Girl crew.
Our favorite, well, at least one of my favorites, Goose.
Yeah.
I think we established that Nick Fury is a cat person. Like he's.
Definitely.
Every minute he was like hanging out with Goose, and I was like, he's so cute, that little flirkin.
I do want to know if there's puppy flirkins. So I can like them too.
My cat, I call him Flirkin now. I call Remus a Flirkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Goose was pretty great. Definitely.
Did you like that Samuel L. Jackson got his scar from that?
Yes. And it's very him to be like, "Oh, neither confirm nor deny." Yeah. Like that story when Coulson asked how he got.
I think it was a touch too silly, personally.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's so Sam Jackson that I just loved it.
Because like, do you remember? Like, I'm surprised he even still had that eye in there. Because do you remember in which movie was it?
Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yes. Yeah. Where he's like, "You forgot about my other one," and pulled it off, and I was like, "Wait." Like, I'm trying to correlate. I'm like, wait, so he lost the eye there, but he still had the eye. I'm like, does it still have the DNA thing? Like, how is this working?
I guess he never chose another eye. He was like, I'll just keep this one, I guess.
It's infected. That's definitely infected, Dad. It might be. It's been like 20 years, dude. You gotta.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the problem sometimes with
backtracking,
filling in the blanks. Like when he was typing out the Protector Initiative, and then he was like, Avenger.
Yeah. That was silly.
delete. I literally said, that's so dumb, but okay, fine. Fine, it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
yes.
We talked a little bit about everyone's relationship. Is there any relationship that we didn't address?
I don't think so. I guess I'm really excited to see Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame because they said that she's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, she was in the trailer. She was in the trailer. Like the bonus scene.
Yeah, where they're like, you'll see Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame. I'm like,
no, I mean, she shows up did you stay
at the end of the trailer with Thor?
No, the after credit scene too.
No, the after credit scene.
Yeah, where yes. So I'm excited.
Not of the trailer, sorry, of the movie Captain America. Yeah, Marvel. I keep almost saying Captain America.
I'm really excited to see that because I was so worried that because it took place in the past that she wouldn't play a big role or any role at all because in the new Avengers movie because it takes place in the present.
We need someone to kick Thanos' ass, so.
Is the new Avengers movie only written by men?
I don't know. I
have no idea. I don't know who the writers are.
Because I'm worried about how that will affect how her character is written.
Yes. Well, it was women that wrote Captain Marvel, right?
Captain Marvel was co-written by a woman.
Yeah.
I will say, and I don't know if it's too soon. I really enjoyed the movie, but I felt as though some of the writing was a little predictable in terms of the scene and how it went and the pacing. Like some of it, like you can kind of predict what was coming next.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoyed the movie in terms of like it being a Marvel movie and part of the MCU. I thought it was great. I thought the casting was amazing. And a
Yeah, I
lot of
thought it
this
did a great job building hype.
yes. But I feel as though some of the writing could have been a little better.
Yeah. So what did you think about like Carol and Fury basically being like it being like a buddy cop movie?
Oh god, I loved it.
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
thought it was so fun. It was very lighthearted. Like I didn't feel so tense. You know that tension you get when you watch a superhero movie where it's like, "Oh my god." Like you don't
Yeah.
really know what's going to happen next or you don't know when someone's going to turn on somebody or like
Right.
they're going to get into a really big argument. I didn't feel that way with this movie. I felt as though Carol and Nick built an actual relationship with each other and it was nice. Like it was a nice and refreshing. It was refreshing.
I liked when they both said ass at the same time.
Yeah.
Did I miss that? When did that happen?
It's when Maria said that she's going to essentially kick the lead scroll.
Oh.
Talos. I can't remember his name ever.
Yeah.
And he's
Or
like,
like
"Is it you're supposed to guess where?"
oh yeah, like I'm gonna
Oh, where the
shove my
sun
boot up
shines.
your yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I remember that.
That was a good line.
Yeah. There's just a lot of good buddy moments.
They're
That were super cute.
they're good together. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the dynamic of Carol and Fury. Can't call him
Yeah.
Nick, because then he'll know you're in disguise.
Well,
You wanna
the
call
guy called him. Well, he called him Nicholas.
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah,
wasn't even
even
Nick. It was
weirder.
Nicholas. Yeah, he was like, huh?
Yes.
So like another important factor about that is that so there are like all sorts of tests, like the Bechdel test and similar to it about like women in movies. Like the Bechdel test is the movie has to have at least two women in it who talk to each other about something besides a man, which this
Right.
movie obviously passes with flying colors.
Yes.
But then there's like other tests, like the Makomori test, which is like so those other tests are based on the Bechdel test.
Right. I've never
So
heard of that one either. Or I've heard of the
yeah,
Bechdel test. I've never heard of the Macklemore test.
yeah. So the Makomori test is the female character has to have a narrative arc that does not support a man's story.
Right.
So this
Mhm.
obviously has that, despite the fact that Jude Law's character, Yon-Rogg. You don't say his name enough for to stick in my brain.
You just call him Jan or Rog.
Rogg's character. Rogg's character, even though he definitely tries to make it as if she is part of his story, right?
Right.
Like as if like he created her. But that is not the case. Another test based on the Bechdel test, which I think is, seen in Carol and Fury's relationship and Maria and Fury's like newfound relationship and everything,
Mhm.
is Nadia and Lila Latif. Are there two named characters of color? Do they have dialogue? Are they not romantically involved with one another? Do they have any dialogue that isn't comforting or supporting a white actor or character? And is one of them definitely not a magic stock character?
What is a magic stock character?
A magic stock character is like who basically has like I mean sometimes actual like magic powers, sometimes just like basically they have like some sort of like powers that they use to assist the white person in their role and not hers.
Sometimes they're like the wise old man or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Yes, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. All right. I
It
can
basically
definitely.
doesn't. It basically has nothing to do with like them as a character. It's just like to like further along the white character.
Right.
Right.
I
Um,
think I think like they do like I guess they pass this test except for maybe the do they have dialogue that isn't comforting or supporting a white character?
I think that they do have. There's definitely a bunch of
Yeah.
dialogue to
Yeah.
support. and comfort the white character. But I do think they also have dialogue.
They had dialogue with each other
that are separate from that.
Okay.
Fury and Maria have dialogue together.
I think it's important that like Maria's character did go to space with her, and that way we got to see like her own like agency and her like character development and her take part in saving the day.
Right.
And
her
not just
her skills, yeah.
Which hopefully we'll see more of later in the MCU. Yeah, so I mean, I think this movie passed all of those. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I think so. I think
it's the first MCU movie to pass all of these.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
Well, I mean, also Black Panther.
Okay, no,
yes, I'm sorry.
You're right. But I feel like Black Panther is an exception because I wouldn't say it's an exception. I feel like it, in terms of like all the other MCU movies, which are mostly white, cisgender
and I don't
people.
Know, yeah, I don't know if they pass the if it passes the Bechdel test.
Do they even have women in them? I'm just kidding.
Of course they do.
I know, but
they're usually talking about
Shuri definitely.
Oh yes,
I think talks to plenty of.
She does in Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther does pass this because you have the interaction with Shuri and Ramonda and Okoye, as well as all the other characters within that Black Panther universe, and they're not all talking. They're not in relationships with each other. They are not there to support a white character. Men, yeah, they're not. They are there to.
I mean, sure, like sometimes they are talking about Black Panther, but T'Challa,
and what they're gonna do. Yeah,
but he's also like the leader of.
Sometimes they're talking. Yeah, I mean, it's like very country.
So they're not talking about him in a romantic way. They're talking about him because he is the leader of Wakanda.
But that's still talking about him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be romantic.
That is true.
Yeah. But anyway,
but yeah, then there's also the like, because she's one of the writers on Captain Marvel, not the movie, but on the comic series. Kelly Sue DeConnick has the sexy lampshade test. If you can replace your female character with a sexy lampshade, and the story still basically works, maybe you need another draft.
Yeah. I've heard that. It's very funny and it's very true. And there are
many movies that fall into that category. This is not one of them.
Have you guys watched Baby Driver?
No, I have not.
Oh. I guess she does more by the way the women are portrayed in that movie. There's a lot that's another episode. There's a very Madonna versus a horror kind of vibe in there that I do not like.
I feel like that's the difficult thing when you have men trying to write women's stories without doing proper research or not allowing other women to take the lead and actually write women's stories. Because when you have people that have had these experiences in writing these stories, you tend to have a much better and more accurate story.
Jenny, are you saying Madonna versus like an actual sex worker, or Madonna versus someone who the writer like is just calling a whore?
Okay. It's just about a very sexualized character.
Okay.
And I'm not calling her a whore. I'm just saying.
No, I didn't think. That's the phrase. I didn't think that you were.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were. I thought I was asking like the actual description of the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the like good is the Madonna is associated with good characteristics, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you were talking Madonna like the saint.
Yes, sorry, not Madonna.
Okay,
okay, all right.
Have you never heard of the phrase the Madonna versus the whore?
No,
that's why. You might be confused. It's like the angel.
I thought this was a movie that featured Madonna and someone the writer was calling a whore, and I was offended.
What I got to. I don't know. Okay, back to character relationship. Can we talk about Carol and Yon-Rogg?
Yes.
Yeah. And
I mean, how much?
Fuck that guy.
Punch him.
I'm so happy you got punched in the fucking face.
My creep.
I'm not apologizing for my language. Go.
Like my creep scale was just. It was like, oh my God. It was
just off the radar. From the minute it started, he seemed like he was just gaslighting her. Like, that's just what I got. I was like, he is gaslighting her, and he knows it. He knows it.
He
is manipulative.
That is like an understatement of the year. Oh my god, I'm sorry. He just like to convince her that he's why he and like their supreme beings or whatever, or like why she exists and have her powers, and like they can take them away from her when he knows damn well she got them from that explosion. It's just like, fuck you, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
And then like oh my god, at the end when she literally flies through a spaceship and blows it up with like just her fist.
So badass. Yep.
Which I was basically screaming. I was like, yeah! And then she like, she lands and this pathetic fucking shit stain of a dude is like, I'm so proud of you. You need to like now you need to like settle your emotions and fight me like without your powers. I was literally like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? Because the whole movie he's trying to control her emotions as men will do to women, and I felt myself getting really, really disgusted and angry because I thought they were going to have her fight him. I genuinely thought that they were going to have her fight him without her powers, and I was like, I'm just so used to these movies being directed by white men that like I thought that's what was going to happen. So when she punches him in the face,
a very well-deserved punch in the face.
Ooh, I screamed. Ooh, I screamed in happiness.
When as soon as like they started staring each other down, I'm like, she's gonna destroy him. They're like this is his desperate attempt to get any leverage whatsoever.
Like, dude, you watched her fly through your own ship.
Yep.
And then another ship, and then a bunch of other ships in space. I was in the theater going, she owes you nothing. You are nothing. And then she's like, I have nothing to prove to you. And I was like, yes.
That is like, it was definitely my favorite line because it is like the epitome of like men wanting women to prove that they are as good as them or whatever. And it's like, I know my own worth. I know I don't need to prove shit to you.
You shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't have to feel that way. And I feel as though that's what I really enjoyed and got out of that last scene was her finally accepting, I have nothing to prove to you. I can be great on my own without you. You're not needed to help me become a better person or be who I am.
Yeah.
Like, you don't exist in my story.
And then she dragged his ass across the ground and shoved him into his ship to embarrass him by sending him back to his planet empty-handed. But my favorite line in the movie was when she said, I've been fighting with one arm behind my back. What happens when I'm finally set free? Because just like, I mean, as powerful as that other line was, especially like in that moment, like I just like love that line because like I feel like that's just something that like a lot of women can relate to, like always feeling like held back.
Yeah, or feeling as though they have to control their emotions in order to be able to tell a point or anything in life.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is just, we hate Yon-Rogg, but
I don't even hate him. I don't think of him.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah.
If you really want someone to know that they are nothing to you, don't hate them. Just erase them from your life.
Yeah.
That block button on social media is an amazing tool for your mental health. Oh man. Let's take a quick commercial break to talk about some other powerful women.
Hey, have you heard of the new licensed Charm subscription box?
Yeah, it's a quarterly box by Rose and Jenny of Fan Mail. I know they're both lifelong Charm fans, so I'm super excited for all the unique items they're going to be putting out. Do you have any favorites from past boxes?
Yeah, aside from all the really cool apparel, accessories, home goods, and jewelry, I have to say that my favorites are the leather-bound Book of Shadows and the Spirit Board enamel pin from the October box. How about you?
Those were so good. My favorite is the artwork by On Juilliard of Instagram of the Hallowell Manor in the January Hearth and Home box. It's so detailed. She even put the Aurora Borealis as the background.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the next box that ships at the end of April because it's all about Piper Halliwell, my favorite charmed sister.
Why is she your favorite, Arkeida?
Well, aside from her being the matriarch of the family, she is also the caregiver, and her biggest focus in life are taking care of her business, taking care of her family, and taking care of her kids. She's like a Renaissance woman.
Yeah, she also has middle child syndrome, which I can relate to. I can't wait to see what they put in this box. They have already announced there will be kitchen theme items and exclusive collectibles that you can only get in this box.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that the Charmed Box of Shadows is the only Charmed subscription box, and that all of the items are 100% exclusive.
Yeah, also, I just want to say how genius and perfect using the name Box of Shadows as a charm subscription box is, and that it doesn't shock me at all that fan mail would come out with a subscription box based on badass women who empower each other, being that their brand has a lifelong history of supporting and empowering other geek girl bosses.
Yeah, and I love that they are also offering a discount code to our listeners. Use the code FAW to get 10% off your first box in your subscription. Again, that's FAW, all caps, at theboxofshadows.com to subscribe now.
Also, please check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Box of Shadows. Their Instagram is so aesthetically pleasing and wholesome as heck. If you haven't checked out the comments on their posts yet, do yourself a mental kindness and do so. It's just like a witchy love fest of people reminiscing on how important the series was to them and how excited they are for Charm Box of Shadows to exist.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the April box to come out.
Yeah, I'm just super excited for Charm Box of Shadows. And again, use code FAW, all caps, for 10% off your witchy needs.
Let's talk about the scrolls.
Yeah, let us talk about them. That was a big shock to me because from my understanding, even though I've never read the comic books, like all the years I've known, Skrulls have always been the bad guy. So when that twist came out, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it's like you actually felt empathy and caring towards them because it's like they are refugees. They're just trying to not be under Kree rule anymore.
Yeah, I remember in Civil War, the comic book series came out when I was still working at St. Mark's Comics when I was in college, and like at the end of it, Spider Woman is revealed to be a Skrull. And so like I remember reading that series and then Secret Invasion, and so just like in my head, it's like Skrulls are the bad guys.
Right.
So
they have the perfect power for being the bad guys.
Yeah.
I like that reveal, but I've watched a lot of like videos about how they might handle the Skrulls in the MCU and who could be a Skrull if like they've been hidden on Earth for a long time already since the 1990s.
Yeah, that was the whole, I think, like the point behind like Secret Invasion. It was just like Skrulls invaded the Earth and you don't know like who's who, and you got to see like the whole like backstory of how like they became the Skrull. And
yeah, and so I was a little put off by it at first, but I've also heard Kevin Feige say that they might still do something similar to that, maybe. Like it's not off the table for them to like maybe another sect of Skrulls who are evil. I don't know how they could even do it.
I'm happy with it being like this. I don't need everything to stay the same as it was.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that
I'm not set on them being evil. I just think that the idea of villains who can change face is very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the part of where that I thought would have been interesting if they had been villains. And we had a lot of moments where we were like, "Oh shit, that's not her," or "That's not him."
Yeah, like Taylor says, like I think he says like my hands aren't clean,
right?
Or something like that. Like he recognizes that like although the Kree are the ones who are persecuting them, like they also have blood on their hands, like in that war.
Yeah,
I do love how much empathy we got to see from Carol.
Yeah, it takes a lot to basically admit you're wrong or misinformed and then fix it.
And for her, it was like a bit of both. She was misinformed because of all the lies that Yon-Rogg had been feeding her, and then like she's also been led to believe that yeah, the Skrulls are the bad guys. Yes, you should be fighting and killing them. Yeah, they're terrorizing the Kree when in fact it's the other way around, and
Yeah, because yeah,
Yon-Rogg
I mean,
kind of been playing this
yeah.
message in our head.
Well, he like implanted a memory of a scroll shooting Marvel instead of
Right.
him shooting Marvel. Because again, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Those flashbacks were really cool, though. I really enjoyed those.
Yeah, it was a really interesting way to film the movie in
Right.
general. I mean, I love seeing all the different scrolls and their relationships and like
And how
Talos
they've
with
integrated
his
into
kid and his
society.
wife and
Yeah. Yeah, I did feel I
oh,
felt a lot for them when they got to the spaceship. What was that?
oh my god, when Monica is like, "Your eyes are beautiful. Don't ever
Oh my
change your
Oh,
god,
eyes."
yeah.
I was like,
yes!
Yeah.
"Precious angel."
That
And
was
there,
a
Yeah.
very touching
talk
moment.
about the psychology of someone who can change what they look like and what I'm sure
Okay.
people have gone into that with like characters like Mystique, but
Yeah.
your true self might be seen as ugly to some people.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
Martian Manhunter.
Right.
Mhm.
They touch upon that a lot in Supergirl. Yeah, I mean, and it's one of the reasons why the Skrulls are so easy to believe that they're the villain.
Right.
Right.
Cuz
Because again,
For
ugly.
both reasons.
again, ugly
Ugly
Yeah.
equals
equal
villain,
bad, and yeah.
Yeah.
which it doesn't. Weird. That's sarcasm because it's not obvious. Yeah, and
Mhm.
like I mean, like I don't want to like dive too deep into it, but like I will say like it did remind me of like the Israeli government versus the Palestine conflict, especially with like how highly militarized the Kree were.
Yes. I do agree with you on that point. And then I forgot that as I was watching the movie, that I also felt it was very Star Wars in a sense, where it's like the Republic versus like the separatists and the refugees. I was like, this is like Star Wars. And I recently just watched Star Wars.
I
Um
actually got Star Trek vibes from it from the
oh my
beginning. The beginning where they're like
okay.
entering a new world, they have to kind of interact with the locals and figure them out and,
Yes.
Yeah,
I did want to go back to what you said about Monica Rambeau saying your eyes are beautiful, don't ever change them. I will say that it was very important that that came from a black girl in that scene, and I say
yes,
that because as a young black girl, you are taught that your looks are not
yep,
beautiful in comparison to in comparison to white people. So for her to say that, it's kind of like the beauty roles are flipped, and or like the ideals of beauty are flipped, and she's the one that you would perceive as beautiful, telling the person that society would not deem as beautiful, you are beautiful the way you are. And I felt that that was very touching and very it was a
beautiful.
very beautiful
yeah,
beautiful Carole King musical.
yeah. It was a really, really,
It was very
really
touching.
wonderful moment.
Yes, I like that moment a lot. But I feel as though Monica is very important in this film and in this realm of the MCU. And I think there's a lot of cultural significance surrounding this movie that I'm really glad to see, and I'm really hoping for more movies like this, or more movies with more female or non-male leads, because
Yeah.
they reflect real life. Not to say superheroes necessarily reflect real life, but it gives more people somebody to idolize or look up
Look up
to.
to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And relate to as well. Because
Right.
for so long we've had to only relate to white cisgendered characters, especially men. And it's time for all of the people of the world to have somebody representative of their cultures. Yeah. I
Yeah,
couldn't say that word. I was trying to say that word. I couldn't figure out the right way to say that word.
that's
He's
okay.
wonderful, and
But
everyone
yeah,
knows what you mean. So
yes.
it's okay if it's not the right word, but it is the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just yeah, and I love the fact that like because like with Black Panther, there was the whole like the Black Panther challenge that raised
Yes.
money for children in Harlem to go see the
Hmm.
movie. So like with this, like Brie Larson did the Captain Marvel challenge with Girls Inc. and We Have Stories to raise money for underprivileged girls. Uh, I think in LA to see the movie.
Yeah, that did happen. And also in New York City, the NYC chapter of Geek Girl Brunch also
Yes.
did a showing of Captain Marvel, and a portion of all the people who bought tickets, a portion of that went towards the Octavia Project, which is like it's a project or an organization in New York City that uses like science fiction to encourage young women and non-binary to like explore career options and like see alternative futures for them. And I feel as though that was like a great way to give back to the community for Captain Marvel. And I know they did that last
They
year
did
with
it with Black Panther as
Yeah.
well, and I was at that viewing
Oh yes,
with
you are.
them, and I told them that like, anytime I sell a Dora Milaje dress, I would donate $100 of the proceeds to the Octavia Project as well. So anyone who buys one of those dresses, you help those girls and the non-binary children.
Get into science fiction and STEM, which is really important.
Yeah, and I mean, this movie means a lot to me in general. I really, in particular, loved the flashback scenes, like that segment where she kept getting up basically throughout her life.
Yeah.
And there was something really powerful about that montage, I guess. And yeah, it was like, yeah, it was just great. I
It
don't
was
know.
inspiring and
Yeah.
and it was touching, and it was like you felt good because you feel like as a woman and as anybody can relate to, there's so many times where you feel as though you're pushed down and all you can do is get back up again.
Yeah, and it's funny because, so like they were showing those scenes throughout the movie to like show little flashbacks of her life and her memories or whatever.
Yes.
And like they're like meant to be like, oh, you're so weak. But every time I saw one of them, I was like, wait, does she already have powers at this point? Because to be able to like fall on the ground from like that massive height, swinging from one rope to another, you have to be resilient as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
And like her like go-kart like flipped over and crashed, and she just like got up and was walking. Like
I know.
what?
I'm like,
I was like, wait, so she had the power since she was a little kid, right?
No.
No, I don't know.
Like, I don't understand. How is she that strong?
Kids aren't that resilient. They're pretty fragile. You know, kids are pretty fragile.
Well, actually, kids' bones aren't like fully grown. So if you like so it's actually better for you to break your arm as like a kid than as an adult.
Not saying go break kids' arms.
You can heal better.
Okay, yes.
I don't know. I just love that, like how like all the scenes were meant to make her look weak actually made her look stronger, and then like putting them all together was like, yeah, I'm pretty fantastic.
I'm pretty marvelous.
Yeah, you have nothing on me. I'm gonna blow you up now.
Yeah, and of course there's the "you should smile" scene, which is
yeah. I love that she fucking stole his motorcycle.
If she hadn't stole it, I was hoping she would have kicked it over, because I would have kicked it over.
Nah, stealing it means at least you get something out of it.
Yeah. I would have gotten.
Oh, she doesn't give him the time of day. She keeps looking at her newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, map.
Map. Haven't seen a map in God knows how long. I remember looking at maps like back in the day. But yeah, that just goes to show you how frustrating it is just to exist as a woman. Men think that you owe them the time of day just because they talk to you. It's like saying hi to me. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know you. Why would I want to know you? Why do you think that you deserve the time of day? Like, just for breathing and existing? Like, leave me alone.
Has anyone ever told you guys to smile?
Yes.
Was it? I feel like I was in a chat room with you last summer when somebody did, and then like proceeded to call me ugly right after. I was
like,
yeah, that's the most outrageous shit in the world. Like when a dude hits on you, and then you don't respond in the way they want you to, and then they're like, "Well, you're ugly anyway."
It's like, well,
you literally hit on me a second ago.
Exactly, like that, and it's so frustrating because it's like nobody ever believes women when they say this is something they deal with on a regular basis, and it's like it shouldn't have to be that. You guys should be checking your friends and be like, don't do that. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's annoying. It makes us feel uncomfortable. It makes us feel threatened because out of all of the times that it's happened, there is that person that will take it too far, and you never know when.
Followed home.
Yes, like you never know.
Followed home. I've had men like scream that they were gonna kill me. Like,
yeah,
yikes.
Yeah, it's I've had men get like an inch from my face.
No, yeah, it's not good for your mental or physical health. Like, leave us alone. It's really not. Like, it's not that difficult of a concept. Like, you learn how to do this in kindergarten, so why is it, like,
It
grown
costs
men
you
can't do
nothing
it?
to mind your own fucking
It really
business.
doesn't.
Yeah, and also, like, it does not matter what women are wearing, because I could be wearing, like, pajamas, I could be wearing a skirt, I could be wearing, like,
I've
freaking
had it
a
yeah, I've
duffel
had it,
bag with holes
like
ripped out for my legs and arms, and
I've
it
gone
doesn't.
out in straight up, like, a whole soccer jersey and, like, sweat and it's like, it still happens. It's like, "Leave me alone. Why is
Yeah,
it such a hard
like, women
concept?"
are told to smile, women are told to control their emotions so that they're being, too
Mhm.
much,
I will say a
where
scene that I did like from the movie where she at the beginning, when she happens to be fighting the Skrulls, and one yells in her face and she yells back. Like, so
Yeah.
very it's, like, very rare that you get to see a woman express her emotion, and I was like, "Yeah! Scream!" Because, like, that's how women feel. We wanna be able to scream, we wanna be able to be passionate without being called emotional or unstable, like, these are just these are regular emotions that everyone feels, so why is it that when a woman does this, they are seen as unstable, but if a man does it, he's passionate?
Yeah.
It's BS.
So, like, I love this movie because it's just, like, it just proves that women should be able to just be.
Yes.
So
And
right
just
now, on Rotten Tomatoes, Captain Marvel is at a 62% audience score. It was much lower before, actually. It was
It
like
was like
50%
yeah.
before.
One
But
time I
like,
checked, it was at, like, 30 something, and I was like, "Ugh, it's because salty ass white men."
yeah, they bombed the site before the movie came out with fake
But why?
reviews.
Like, why? Like, why is it so hard to just if you're not like, you already know you're not gonna like it, then don't watch it, but why go through so much of a hassle? Like, I don't get it. It's kinda the same thing with Trump supporters. I'm like, "Why are you such a dick? Why? Why are you such
why
a
do you have
dick?
to be so extra?
And why did your mother not swallow you?" Like, are you okay? Ugh, why
Or
didn't your
any other
dad jerk you
sarcastic.
off into a sock like he normally does? Please.
It's mind-boggling to me. It's like,
Ugh,
yeah.
ugh, it bothers me because it's like other people are allowed to enjoy something. Like other people are allowed to feel joy and like things. Like just because you don't like it or you don't support it doesn't mean you have to go and trash it constantly and consistently. Like it's not necessary. And all it does is show other people that that's the kind of person you are, and it makes it harder for other people, especially like anyone women to to live their lives the way they want to because they're in constant fear of people like that, like gatekeepers like
Yeah, I
that, and
mean,
that's not
it's because she's so powerful that they don't like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know,
they
they
need
don't
a man to be the most powerful character in the Marvel universe. Also, Brie Larson herself, she's been like speaking out about the fact that like most of her critics are white men.
yeah, and it bothers me so much because when you think about it, they make up such a smaller portion when you think of the whole scheme of the fandom of Marvel movies and Marvel comics. Like, the portion that is so vocal and angry about anything, anytime there's a strong female or a black or a person of color character, they're so vocal about how much they hate it. And it's like everyone else is normal. It's like, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but they hate it so much that they have to attack it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
And
Star
it
Wars.
makes it worse. It makes it worse for everybody.
It's like Star Wars. How like I feel like
They
most women I know actually enjoyed the Last Jedi,
yes. Oh yeah,
and
no. I got into an
but
argument
like
with
most
this dude.
men that I talk to hate it
They made
or
I don't
claim they hate it.
did it I think it was either The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens where they cut all the women out of the movie. They just remade the movie and cut
Yeah.
all the women. I was like, so what do you have? Like some dudes like what kind of a movie is this? Like
Also,
the
like
You have
I
a lot of homoeroticism, I guess.
I will never understand being a straight man who doesn't want women involved in comics.
it's like
Like, why wouldn't you want like if you are a straight man who is attracted to women, why wouldn't you want that person to be interested in the things you are interested in?
I feel
You
like they
want them to
only
be interested, but you want to be better at it. They want to be
yes.
better at it
They
than
want to be
you.
better. They're there to like just to be pretty.
Well,
Like
I
that's how
don't.
it just bothers me. That's why I feel like about a lot of comic artists too, where they just like draw a non-realistic woman, and then when people are upset, it's like, well,
Oh
like
yeah, and I've heard the critique be like, oh yeah, like these men need to like revamp their style. And it's like, or let's just stop fucking hiring them and hire some female artists because there's like a million amazing ones.
yes. And it's not that they are all like that, because I do follow a lot of male artists and they
Of
draw
course.
women, like regular women, that
Of
like
course. And
women
if
that
any of
exist.
them were to ever listen to this, they'd be like, yeah, they're not talking about me.
Yes.
Like I
Like
pay attention to like how I'm drawing women to make sure that it's the way a woman actually looks.
right. It's not like
Like,
contorting her body in this
and,
waist that looked like she removed all her ribs.
yeah, so the problem with like these trolls on Rotten Tomato think that like if you critique any man, that you're critiquing all men.
Right. And it's
So
like, if you're not a problematic man, then maybe it wouldn't affect you. But if you are, then that's why you feel attacked. Fix your personality or something.
Fix your personality.
fix
Fix
your
it.
life.
Go to
Oh
Home
God,
Depot.
I love that.
Get
Ugh.
that fixed.
Get your personality fixed at Home Depot.
Maybe don't go there. Go to Bath and Body Works instead.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it bothers me so much, but I like that now Rotten Tomatoes is asking for proof that you've seen the movie before you can go in and trash it, because that is what's happening. So
Wait, they're asking for. I know they changed it. Sorry to cut you off. I know that they changed it so you can't leave a review until the movies come out. But they're asking for. You
aren't
have
they?
to like. You have to
I
send in
feel
like
like they were, but
Well, I
maybe
think
I'm wrong in that.
I don't think that they can check that,
Yeah,
but
I feel like you're now that you say that, it might be harder, but waiting till the movie actually comes out might make more sense. But it I feel like that would help, because there's so many instances where it's like a woman or a person of color or a black person where they are leading in this movie, and everything just Rotten Tomatoes gets bombed with bad reviews because salty ass white men don't like it.
and then they will claim that the movie bombed
Yeah. Or let's say,
because
oh
it's
well
bad
it was
reviews. It's like no, it didn't actually bomb. Like those are fake reviews.
yeah. Or like
Do
they'll
you
say,
know what
oh
fake
it's
news is?
bad. They'll say it's bad because it was a woman in the movie and not men. And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know what your Facebook timeline looks like, but I definitely have men on it who have not seen the movie but are critiquing it and are
I
saying that
yeah.
the movie will be a failure. And like and then like when called out on it, they're like, "Well, I don't mean a financial failure. I just mean it won't do what Marvel movies are supposed to do and
and
like
I'm like,
getting
what do you
people
think?
hyped." And
Yeah.
like if you talk to literally any woman,
Not yeah, it's like, have you talked to anyone with a brain? You're just being salty because a woman is being portrayed in this strong role. So
Yeah,
I like
I read an article that was like this really says something about the state of journalism nowadays.
hmm.
I read an article that was like estimates for Captain Marvel drop 80% or something like that. And that was before it came out. And he used two different sources for the numbers, and it wasn't 80%. It was another percentage. And I'm like, this person doesn't know math. This person doesn't know journalism. What this person
can
is
can
in
can you Google real quick how much it's made so far? Because I'm pretty damn sure it's marvelous.
Let's see. Okay. Right now, at the moment, it is 760 million worldwide. Wait, as of 8 hours ago, it is 270 million domestic and 500 million overseas. So it went up 10 million. So
That
it's
sounds like a fucking flop, guys.
a flirkin flop. You
yes.
I'm sorry, a flirkin flop.
That's a bit of a tongue twister.
But no, all I can say is Captain Marvel is significant to so many people for so many reasons. And it's not just important that women have somebody to look up to in terms of like superhero characters. Boys should also be able to look at
Yes.
a female character and say, wow, she's great. I idolize that person. Like, gender should not have to play a role in who your idols are, because when that starts to happen, that's when like bad traits start to form. I'm not saying that just because you only have male women roles or male roles in your life that can happen, but it's good to diversify, and it's good to see
It's
life
good.
experiences from
Mhm.
other people and other people that aren't yourself.
And it's
Yeah,
good to be able to identify with them regardless of
Yes,
gender or race.
exactly.
yeah, there's what we were talking about after Into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
Yes, we did discuss that into the Spider-Verse, because for so long, people of color have had to be able to identify with cisgendered white male when it
Yeah.
comes to superheroes. It's about time that, you see these, because did you see that picture? There was a girl that got left Captain Marvel and she was crying. And it was a very young girl and she was like, "This is my superhero." And I was like, "Yes, this is what the world needs." Like, it's 2019. It's time to stop being a gatekeeper. It's time to understand that fandom is for everybody. Superheroes are for everybody, and being a superhero, anybody can be a superhero. All it takes is a little heart and maybe like a photon blaster. I don't know. I felt good leaving the
Yeah.
movie. Like, I enjoyed it, and it was something that I felt like along the lines of Black Panther, because I've been a fan of Marvel for as long as I can remember, and I love all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but the emotion that I felt after leaving Black Panther, it doesn't compare, and I kind of feel as though that's what I was getting from
Yeah,
Captain Marvel.
Right. And did you like
agreed.
the soundtrack too?
Yes!
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it was so good. I mean, I was actively during the movie every song like, "Oh my
Yeah, I
god,
was
this
like,
soundtrack."
when they started
Like,
playing Gwen Stefani, I was like, "This is my song." That was literally
but
my
so
breakup song.
there were so many complaints about how, "Oh, it's so cheesy that they're playing I'm Just a Girl." And I'm like, "Okay, were you alive in the 90s? Because if you were,
That
you
song
would
was
understand that this
every.
song makes perfect sense for this movie, and if it wasn't in it, it would be foolish."
Also, do you not
Straight
think
up
it's
foolish.
cheesy that they played the Iron Man song in Iron Man? Like, what?
That soundtrack was so good. Ugh, they played
I
garbage. Ugh,
yeah.
ugh,
No, honestly, the girls that I dance with, our next game is next month, and I'm really upset I'm missing it because we're voting and we want to do a Captain Marvel mix. And I'm like, why am I not gonna be here? I'm your Captain
I am
Marvel.
your Captain
I
Marvel.
am your Captain. But I'm
Oh, you can
hoping
wear
that
your
it
gorgeous
goes
dress.
through. I'm excited. No, I'm excited because I'm working on something else that will happen for AwesomeCon, and we're gonna all see it when I wear it.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, I am
Mm.
excited. But anyway, the soundtrack is
Soundtrack was amazing.
so freaking good, and anyone who dislikes it, just I don't know what to tell you. You're
They
wrong.
Then
they might just not like 90s music, I guess.
I don't understand you. Who doesn't like 90s music?
I like it again to talk about Into the Spider-Verse. It was like it was like
It
how
fit.
like that was so perfect for that movie.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like what a kid growing up in Brooklyn would listen to.
Yeah.
Like this is what a 90s girl would listen
Would
to.
listen to, and it wasn't just grunge and punk. You also got into the R&B of the 90s as well. And I like just it made sense. Like, it made sense. Like,
Yeah,
this
like
was the music of its time. It makes sense that it exists in this movie. And
yes.
it went along so well with the movie.
It made me very happy.
Listen to music. Listen to some 90s music, because I still listen to 90s music.
Yeah, it'll make your life like happy, at least for like an hour-long soundtrack or however long.
Yes.
Do we have any like favorite scenes that we haven't already mentioned?
I'm just gonna mention Jude Law getting punched in the face again.
um
Because I would just watch that on repeat. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Jude Law. Sorry, but you played an asshole in this movie, and I'm happy you got punched in the face by fucking proton blasting Wonder Woman.
I had a couple of favorite scenes from the movie. The one I had already talked about was her like yelling in the scroll's face.
Right. That whole
Uh,
scene I liked of her escaping.
yeah, that was a really good scene.
Yeah.
But also the scene where the scrolls are reunited. That
Yeah, it was so
that
touching.
was quite touching. I liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also just thought this movie was like beautiful.
it was.
There were a lot of things in it that were just really pretty.
I think I'm gonna go see it again next week.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like this deserves a second viewing.
I did want to see it again today, but we are doing this.
Oh.
Yeah, Yeah, I was really excited because I got to go see it with like fellow geek girls out here. But I think I'm gonna see it again with Ben because he hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, Ben.
I know. I was like, I was like, Ben, I kind of want to see this one with like geek girls, and he was like, "Do it! You should absolutely do it! I'm so excited for you to hang out with people."
Because such a supportive husband, and I love it. Because when you tell me stories about him, even when you guys like have your little spats, I'm like, this is the cutest argument I've ever seen.
Our spats are the goofiest shit in the world, but
like he is so wonderful.
Yeah. Also, he's our first cis male Patreon supporter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to support it as soon as we started our Patreon, and I told him he wasn't allowed to because it's technically my money because we're married, so we have joint bank account. But once we started doing the extra episodes, I was like, fine.
Yeah, he wanted to get to hear it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I also really like the scene where Nick Fury. Nick
Flurkin.
Nick Flurkin Furry.
He was like
Furry Flurkin.
Oh my goodness, it's great.
He was doing his little tape thing with the fingerprint, and he was so proud of himself. And then he was like, "I played with tape."
While you watched me play with tape.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
I loved it. It made me so hyped. Just like the entire scene, like once she breaks free.
Yeah, and she takes
and realizes like, oh, she controls all her power. The entire like rest of the movie was just like non-stop badassery. Like she's like, oh, like, I can just like take these missiles and like throw them back at each other, and like, oh, I can just like punch the wing off of Yon-Rogg's plane, and oh, I can just and she was just like laughing while doing it, and
her just, like, realizing, oh my gosh, I've been fighting with one arm tied behind my back this entire time.
Yep. Yeah, she was so full of joy that it made me full of joy to be able to watch.
And it's what every woman dreams of, being super powerful, you know?
Yeah. Every woman is super powerful.
Honestly, I feel that way. Like, all the women I know are freaking amazing. And it's having to exist in a world that was made for males that it's so hard to be a woman or to be trans or to be non-binary. Like, it just makes it so hard. Men, just mind your business. It's not that hard.
Yeah. But also, I would love to punch through a ship.
Oh, God, yeah. So great. Especially with Yon-Rogg in it.
Poor Jude Law. Poor Dumbledore.
That's okay. Anything else?
No. All women are strong, and trans women are women.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely tell us your overall thoughts on the movie, and thank you so much for listening. If you like what you hear, subscribe, review, and rate us. Our social medias are
Fandom and Wellness on Instagram,
Fandom and Wellness on Facebook,
and Fandom Wellness on Twitter.
If you want bonus content, we're posting weekly geek sessions to our Patreon.
And your support means that we can continue to improve the podcast. So go and join our fangirl family at patreon.com/fandom and wellness.
And remember, be kind and rewind. I'm just kidding. Get it? Because VCRs in the 1990s.
Be kind and punch Yon-Rogg in the face.
And remember, be kind and take no shit. Bye.
Bye.